Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby. Hope that God forgives your sins, your sins, your sins, your sins. Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby. Gotta keep moving.
Welcome everyone, my name is Naomi and this is the Becoming You series where we cultivate discipline, consistency, we find our true identity and we walk in a purpose-driven life. This is so amazing. Like, I just can't believe that this is happening right now and it's truly a blessing. And I also wanted to say thank you to you guys for the amazing support that you guys have been giving me in the past couple of days. You guys have literally done the most on my last video and I just want to say thank you so much, and it's truly a blessing that I'm able to do this and share my journey with you guys. So I was thinking to myself, actually, what would be a better way for me to start this series but to get vulnerable with you guys and to actually share with you guys what has brought me to this point in my life. So I was thinking, where should I start? Let me start with my childhood. I'm going to go and start with my childhood, and I hope you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy. So my childhood, so as you may or may not know, I was born and raised in London, East London to be exact, in a place called Newham. So yes, I was born and raised in Newham. So I am one of six. I've got a brother and four sisters. My upbringing was pretty good. Honestly, God bless my parents because they are truly amazing, and the way they brought us up was just with so much love, and honestly I couldn't ask for better parents in my life. So my parents, they're Christian, so I come from a Christian family. So I've been going to church with my mum, and yeah, but you know when you go to church just to go to church, but like you're there but you're not there. So that was literally what it is for me. Like, I was just going to church for the sake of going to church with my mum. So yeah, so I've been going to church, knew Jesus from a very, very young age. So yeah, life was really, really sweet growing up. My family, I come from a really big family as well, so a lot of family, a lot of aunties, uncles, cousins, you guys know the rest. But yeah, so we grew up in Newham. It wasn't really an easy place growing up, but we got through it. Yeah, so getting to secondary school now, I went to an all-girls school. Secondary school was pretty good. I had a lot of friends and whatnot. Yeah, it was pretty good. So when we got to, I would say roughly 16 was when, you know, life is getting sweet. You're in year 11, you're enjoying life with your friends, and yeah, so that's when the partying started. Yeah, partying started at 16 years old. So but back then we're calling it raves. Do you know what I mean? We're going to the raves with your friends. So like, it will just be people from your school. Yeah, it will be people from your school that you will go to these raves with, and it was a good time. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a very good time. You know, I remember back then, you know, we was young, wild, so we would just go to the parties, you know, and that's when the drinking started. I started drinking at the age of, I think probably the age of 16, or probably even before that, to be fair. I feel like I started drinking before that. So, you know, just little sips of alcohol and whatnot. So yeah, so I started drinking at the age of 16. You know, you're going to your rage, you're having fun with your friends and whatnot. And yeah, I feel like I started clubbing as well at the age of 16. Don't ask me how I got into the clubs, but just know we got there. Honestly, like, thank God for family that actually looked like you, because yeah, it had to be done, guys. It had to be done. So at the age of 16, I started clubbing. And that's when obviously I was drinking as well at the age of 16, just enjoying my life as a young girl does. And yeah, that's about it for 16. And then moving on to 17, you know, you're in college. And then you're in college, and yeah, like life, you know, you're just doing your thing in college and whatnot. And then 18, you go off to uni. So I went off to uni. At the age of 18, I went off to uni in Nottingham. So, you know, if you guys know, those that went uni outside of their hometown, you guys know that uni is crazy. So I went uni in Nottingham. So uni life was good, you know, partying, you know, freshers week and all of that stuff. It was great. So I went to uni in Nottingham in my first year, and then I moved back to London for second and third years. So came back to London, and then yeah, life just continued. I transferred into my new university, but at the same time, I'm about 18. So at 18 already, I had my license. And then at 19, when I moved back to London, that's when I got my first car. Listen, you guys know when you have your first car, you already know you're going places. You're going places. At 19, I had my first car. So you guys know, like, life was a bit, you know, it got better. It got better. Let's just say that. It got better. The parties. And during this time, it was lockdown season. Lockdown was approaching at these times. But why was there still parties? Huh? Why were people still having parties during lockdown? Like, it was them ones where you will call me, the girls will call me, my cousins will call me, like, are we going here? Are we going there? And you know I'm going. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know I'm gonna get there. Like, don't tell me that I'm not coming, because you know I'm gonna get there some way, somehow. Like, if you want to leave me, because I'm gonna get there regardless. So it was a thing where, yeah, I was going out here and there. It wasn't too bad because it was lockdown, so things were going on, but not that much. And yeah, so I would just be driving around, enjoying my young life in my car and whatnot. Like, life was sweet. Life was sweet as a 19-year-old. Approaching 20 now, I think the restrictions starting to lift a bit, because I remember my 20th birthday. I had my 20th birthday, so yeah, restrictions started to lift a lot after that point. And then that's when the parties started, guys. The parties started. So people were just having parties back to back. And then obviously with me, it was me driving and my two cousins driving. So there was 3 cars. So basically the gang had 3 cars. So, you know, the girls will come, my other family will come, and we'll just be going out, guys. We'll just be going out. Me, of course, designated driver as well. So we'll just be going out and just enjoying our lives. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so 3 cars, guys. We're going to the day parties, we're going to the night parties, we're going to the after parties. Like, we're literally living our life. Like, and with that as well, it came with the drinking, the excessive drinking, guys. Like, at that point in my life, I feel like I was just drinking like crazy out of boredom as well. Like, I was just drinking like non-stop. I don't think I ever had a day where I was sober. When I come to think about it, I don't think I ever had a day that I was sober, guys. So I was literally filling up a flask, like, you know, those flasks that you will take to like work or whatnot. I was filling up those flasks with like Magnum, Cherry B. I was crazy. So I was filling up those flasks with drinks, and I would just be drinking it like throughout my day. And it became a habit that was, yeah, it became a continuous habit that I was doing, a very bad habit that I had as well. So I started drinking at that age more. So, and during that period more. So yeah, I'm just drinking continuously, you know, enjoying my life, not giving a hell about anything. So yeah, I'm drinking all the time, literally, guys. Like, even if I wasn't doing anything, I'll be drinking. So even as well at that point, the vapes were a thing at that point. I don't even remember when I actually first. No, I do remember when I first had a vape. I went out, and then I remember at Shisha Lounge they were giving out vapes instead of the actual shisha, because it was like lockdown, so they stopped doing shisha at one point, but they were giving out vapes. So from that time, guys, please tell me, after I had that first vape, why did I start ordering vapes off Amazon? Why did I start ordering vapes on Amazon, guys? So I started buying vapes on Amazon, and I remember like those vapes as well, whenever you will have it, and like the amount of times I was vaping as well, I was vaping consistently. So I'm vaping, and you know when the vapes will flash, that's when you know the vape's about to finish. So the vape's about to finish, and you know what I would do? I would order vapes, guys. Like, I wasn't sitting in my house without a vape, or I was not going out without a vape. So I would literally order vapes in like packs of 10. They will come to my house. I would literally just store them. And then whenever one of my vapes would finish, I would just grab the next one and then grab another one, grab another one. Yeah, it just came to a point where I was just doing crazy stuff. Like, I was vaping consistently. Like, sometimes first thing in the morning, I would vape. When I'm just not, like, when I'm just chilling, I will be vaping. When I'm going out, I'll be vaping, whatnot. So that came, yeah. So with the drinking and the vaping. So obviously at that time as well, the partying got really, really intense to the point where I was coming home crazy hours. Sometimes I'll be coming home and it's literally sunrise, like sunrise, and I'll be drunk as hell, like drunk as hell. And I would just slump out on my sofa, makeup, clothes, just slump out on my sofa, drunk. And it hurts me to say, but yeah, my mum used to see me in that state as well. My mum used to see me in that state, and like when I think back, it's just like it's just crazy, like that I actually had my mum seeing me in that state. My mum would come down in like so much disappointment, and she'd just be like, Naomi, you're coming home like this again. You're doing this. You're coming and you're getting drunk and just sleeping on the sofa. You know, it's not good. Like, she's literally just telling me off, guys. And you know, at that point, I'm stubborn as hell. So with me, I'm listening, but I'm not listening. I'm listening, but I'm just like, oh yeah, yeah, mum, like whatever, I won't do it again. But guys, this became a continuous cycle, and this is what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just coming home crazy drunk, slumping on my sofa and just sleeping. And yeah, so my mum, obviously, she wasn't trying to hear that. So she was consistently on my head, like as consistently on my neck about that. But with me, I had such a stubborn spirit at the time, and I just didn't care. Like, I just didn't care. But thinking back at it now, it really just breaks my heart, because for my mum to see me like that, guys, bearing in mind, my mum is like my best friend. Like, I love my mum so much. And it breaks my heart that she actually had to see me like that. But honestly, when I think about it, a mother's love is just so warm. Like, a mother's love is just, it's just something else, honestly. Like, it's just the best love that you will ever experience in this life. Honestly, it really is. But yeah, so my mum used to see me like that a lot. I don't think my dad ever saw me like that, or maybe he did, but he never actually said anything. But he would probably, yeah, he probably did, but he probably told my mum, and then my mum would be the one to confront me. So that's what was happening. And guys, you think that stopped me? Hmm? A little old me, do you think that stopped me? It didn't stop me, guys. It really didn't stop me. So I remember doing that and just continuing with life and just continually, like, bearing in mind back then I was really bubbly. I was a very bubbly person, just like a free flowing spirit, literally. So I was mingling with a lot of people. I met a lot of people during those times, a lot of girls, a lot of guys. So I don't think anyone tells you how, like, you know, it's just so crazy, like how spiritually draining it is when you're just, you know, sharing your energy with different people. Yeah, so I felt like I became spiritually empty in myself, very spiritually empty, because the way I was just giving out my energy to like so many different people that I knew. Yeah, people don't tell you how dangerous that is. Like, people don't tell you, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, so I was just mingling, meeting a lot of new people. Obviously, that came with the male attention and whatnot. Just enjoying my best life, really. And then my 20th birthday came. I had an amazing birthday. Really enjoyed my birthday during lockdown. And then just carrying on with my life. At 20 years old as well, I became a manager. And guys, you know, 20 years old, you're a manager, guys, you're making good money for your age. Do you know what I mean? 20 years old, I'm making like what, 3K a month from the job that I was doing. And guys, I was working like crazy. Like, I'll say 12 to 13 hour shifts, literally. But guess where that money went? Huh? Guess where that money went? That money went to the tables at the party. why did me and my girls always had tables? Do you know what I mean? We always had tables at the party. Like I was making money. Do you know what I mean? I was making money, so we were buying tables at the parties and whatnot, just spending my money on ridiculous things. Um, so obviously drinking and whatnot, and just living life on the edge basically. And obviously that came with me like starting to drink and drive as well. So I would be literally so drunk and I'll be driving. Honestly, you guys that trusted me to drive, do you guys not feel life? Do you guys not feel life? Like when I look back at it, it's just so crazy because I used to literally drive location to location to location, tipsy as hell, and I just don't know how I did it. So I was doing that. So that came into my life. I started drinking and driving as well. Very irresponsible of myself. Fast forward now, leading up to my 21st birthday. So it came to about September 2021. Still doing the same stuff. But then September 2021, I remember I must have went out and I must have drank. And I remember that night I couldn't get to sleep. I couldn't get to sleep. I just started bursting out in tears. I have no idea why. My spirit became very uncomfortable, very like, it wasn't at ease. I started crying that night, but I just feel like, God was really trying to say something to me that day. But the spirit of stubbornness took over me so much, guys, so much to the point where like I wasn't listening at all. My mum would tell me, my dad would tell me, my brother would tell me. Guys, I wasn't listening to no one. But yeah, I remember that night I drank. I was at home, I couldn't sleep. I was consistently crying, just crying, but whatever. So yeah, it's September 2021 as well. I was doing uni. It's crazy. I was still in uni as well. So imagine I was working 12 hours, doing uni, partying. Guys, I don't even know how I had the energy for all of those things. Like, I don't know how I had the energy for all of those things. But so I'm still deciding what am I going to do for my birthday, because my birthday's in October. And obviously we're in September now. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do for my birthday? I just decided on having a party. So guys, I'm working. I'm doing work. Like I am doing work and going to work. So I'm working like 12-hour, 13-hour shifts back to back, trying to afford my birthday party and whatnot. And I remember I afforded the money to have the parties and to pay off the deposit. So I remember I went to go pay off the deposit, and the excitement was crazy leading up to my birthday. So October now, paid for the deposit. So guys, I'm just sending out the information for the guest list and whatnot. Everyone's putting their names on the guest list. I'm excited. I'm just like, yeah, I'm having a party for my 21st, like be there or whatever. I missed out on it. So so that's what was happening at the time. And obviously as well, this is now my birthday week. So I'm telling the girls, like, I'm going to have a pre-birthday vibe. Like, let's go out. Let's have fun leading up to my birthday and whatnot. So I remember after work one time, after my 12-hour shift, guys, when I think about it, like my body was definitely so drained, so over it at this point, because I was hardly sleeping. Like the most sleep I would probably get is like 5 hours max. 5 hours max. I was hardly sleeping. So I remember after my 12 hours sleep, after my 12 hours, after my 12-hour shift, I literally went home, no nap, no nothing, literally went to shower, got ready for the pre-birthday celebrations. So that night we was going to a nightclub. We were going to a club. We had like a little section in the club as well, promoters and whatnot. So, you get a section, especially if it's your birthday. So they're going to treat you good. So that night, we went out to the club. And it was a good night. When I think about it, it was a good night. Obviously, we were having fun. We met a lot of guys out there, a lot of girls out there. So, we had a really, really good time. So, it was me, my sister, my two cousins. So we went out, had a blast. Obviously, that included the drinking, the vaping, and also balloons at the time as well. At the time, forgot to mention I was doing balloons as well. So it was crazy, but pre-birthday celebration, guys, I'm going crazy. Like, I'm just doing the most. So I remember that happened, and yeah, it was a good time. So after the club finished, I remember I was leaving the club, and then I saw a guy. A guy stopped me, and we were speaking and whatnot. I'm tipsy at this point, guys. So I'm just thinking I want to go home. Like, I'm not even. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, we're getting to speaking, and then eventually ended up in exchanging numbers. So we exchanged numbers and whatnot. But guys, I'm even trying to remember I don't remember that conversation because I was drunk. I was drunk. So we exchanged numbers and whatnot, left it like that. And then the next day I had work. So I had to get home. So bearing in mind it's 4 a.m. at this point. I probably got home at like 5 because of the distance from where the place was and then my house. So probably got home at 5. And guys, bearing in mind I have to wake up at 8 o'clock. 3 hours sleep, have to get into work for 9 o'clock and repeat the whole cycle again. So 12-hour shift, go home again, get ready and go out. Literally, guys. So at this point as well, like, I remember I used to go to work hungover most of the time. I was hungover. I was just not serious about that job anymore. Do you know what I mean? I was just not serious. I was just thinking about making my money so I can go out. Because at 20 years old, like, you don't have any responsibilities. Like, you're just making your money and living your best life. So that's what I was doing. I remember I was just making money to make money, guys, and just enjoy. So went to work. After doing that, it's just sleeping, like falling asleep at work, not even doing what I have to do like that, going home. But for some reason, when I got home, I had energy. You see, like, I had energy to go to the parties. And that night we was going to my friend's party. He was having like a birthday in, when you book out those private bowling alleys. So he had a party there, and then me and the girls and whatnot. Obviously, I was driving. Like, listen, one thing about me, if I could drive to the location, I'm going to drive there. And no one tell me that we can't find parking, because I'm going to find parking that night. So, yeah, so I drove. And I remember before I left the house that day, my mom was just saying to me, you're going to take your car out again. Like, what have I been telling you about taking out your car to parties and whatnot? Don't do that. Just leave your car at home. And then I remember, guys, I was just so stubborn. Oh my gosh. I was just like, Mom, like, stop it. Like, I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm young. Let me enjoy my life as well. Like, I'm going to take my car out and whatnot. I'm not going to drink tonight. So, guys, I just didn't care, guys. I just didn't care. So, yeah, I went out that night, obviously drank. It's like whatever my mom said to me, I didn't listen. Like, it just came in one ear, came out the other. And I remember during this time as well, I was just saying to myself, like, I want to live a restriction-free life. I don't want anything to restrict me. I'm going to live my life. Like, you see the way the devil works. It's like they attack your mind first. They have you saying things that you will never imagine yourself saying. And that was me. I was just saying anything. Literally, I was saying anything. And I was just living my life, literally. But yeah, anyways, I went out to the party. Obviously had things to drink, shots, drinks on drinks, you name it. I had it all. And bearing in mind, guys, the night before I was hungover. So I was hungover coming to the party, and I went to drink more. So obviously the party was good. The girls were mentioning like a second part after the party that we went to, so like an after party. And then during this time as well, this place that we was going to next was popping, guys. It was popping. So I was just like, why not? Like, let's go. The night's young. Let's go. So obviously we went. And obviously we went there, and guys, this place is usually really, really packed, but it's always good. So we went there, we had the time of our life, guys. Guys, bearing in mind, this is my birthday pre-vibe. So, I'm about to have a good time. Regardless. So, went out, had the most, I had the most craziest night. Like, it was so good. And then the girls started getting sick. So 2 of my girls were sick that night. So there was about 5 of us that night. So 2 of my girls, my sister, and my 2 cousins. So 2 of my girls, they were sick. So they left and went home. And then obviously it was just me, my sister, my 2 cousins left. So yeah, guys, we were just there until the party finished, and then me and my cousin were the ones that were driving that night. So we had two cars that night. So yeah, after the party finished, mingling as you do, doing whatever you do after parties and whatnot, and yeah, we got tired, so it was time to go home. So my cousin went home, she drove and went home, and then I asked to drop my other cousin home. So on the way home, I can just drop her home easily. So dropped my cousin off home and everything was good, and then it was time for me and my sister to go home. So I remember on my way home everything was fine. This night as well, guys, I was not playing no music in my car. I was just like, nah, I'm done with the music. Like, I've heard too much music, no music in the car today. Like, we're just gonna drive in silence, basically. And I remember just driving home, and then we got to the traffic lights, and then my sister was like to me, Naomi, you're sleeping. I was like, what do you mean I'm sleeping? Like, I'm awake. Do you know what I mean? I'm awake. She was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then we'll just go in now. So we're passing the traffic lights and getting onto the main road now. So this main road is literally like 5 minutes away from my house. So we're driving up the main road and whatnot. My sister falls asleep because she's just really tired. And bearing in mind, guys, it's like 4 a.m. at this point. So my sister's really tired and she fell asleep. And then I'm just driving up the road, and then from here, guys, I don't even know what happened, because from the memories of what my sister said to me, she was just like, Naomi, you wasn't waking up. And by this, I mean, I literally fell asleep behind the wheel, guys. Bearing in mind, I'm hungover, I drank, I'm tired from my 12-hour shift. I haven't slept in days. So I think what must have happened, guys, is that I fell asleep. I drive with one hand, so the car must have steered. Car steered now, guys, and my car literally swerves across the lane and literally crashes into two parked cars. Guys, this is where my life went left. Guys. My life went left. So my sister says to me, she was shaking me, and I wasn't waking up. And that's when she started panicking. And then eventually I woke up with so much shock. So I remember this myself. I woke up with so much shock. Like, I literally woke up like, and I literally just saw, my car was crashed into two other cars. So I'm literally panicking at this point, guys. I'm panicking. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. My sister's like, Naomi, you crashed. Oh my God, we crashed. So my sister's crying. I'm crying, guys. We're in so much shock, so much panic right now. And I remember there was two guys outside of my car. They're trying to get me out the car. So they're literally trying to drag me out the car because of the damage and whatnot. So they're trying to drag me out the car. And then I remember getting out the car and there was just police, ambulance, everything just there surrounding us, guys. And my car crashed into two parked cars. And I remember looking at my car and I was literally broken. I was broken, guys. My car was written off, and all the damage was on my side of the car. Literally smashed up, written off. So I remember the police officer even said to me, I don't know what it is, but you are a very lucky girl, because the state that your car is in, you could have been dead. Guys, as soon as she said that, I broke down into tears. Like, I literally crouched. I remember, I'm so dramatic sometimes, but I literally crouched down and I was crying. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then the police were just asking what happened, like, what the hell, like, what happened to you, basically, what happened? And then, guys, me, bearing in mind, I'm drunk, guys. So I'm already scared. I'm finished. Now, my heart is broken at this point. I'm scared. I'm panicking, everything. So my speech is slurring now. Guys. I'm trying to act normal. I'm trying to act like I'm not drunk at this point. And then I remember, guys, as I'm speaking to the police, I can see my dad coming and approaching. And then bearing in mind, my dad goes to work around these hours. So around 4 a.m., my dad goes to work really early. So as he's going to work, that same route that he takes to work, he must have saw me and my sister standing outside, and my car is there, police, ambulance, everything is there. and everyone is there. So he must have just ran to us, and I literally saw my dad in the distance, and I started crying, guys. The way I cried this night was as if, like, I haven't cried like this ever in my life, but the way I cried when I saw my dad, guys, my dad was so broken. I didn't even know what to say to him. I didn't even know what to say to him. I didn't even want to tell him that I was drinking. I didn't even know what to say, guys, at this point. And then I remember at this point, the police officer brought out the breathalyzer, brought out the device for me to breathe into, and I didn't want to breathe into it because I knew what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? I knew what I was doing. I've never been involved in the police and whatnot. So at this point, I was just like, okay, so if they find that I've drank alcohol, like, what are they gonna do? Cool. So they brought out the breathalyzer, and I'm breathing into it, but I wasn't breathing into it too much. And the police officer was like to me, if you don't breathe into this, we're going to take you to the station. So you have to breathe into this. So obviously in shock, I'm breathing, guys. I'm blowing literally. And yeah, the police officer told us that it failed. So I was just like, what do you mean it failed? Do I have to do it again? And she was like, no, as in, like, your alcohol limit is above the normal limit. So guys, I'm just paused. Like, I'm just like, huh? I didn't drink. I'm just trying to say I didn't drink. She was like, no, you drank. It shows us that you've drank because the alcohol level is above the normal limit. So I was just like, okay, so what does this mean? You are under arrest for suspicion of drink driving, guys. Me, I said under arrest. I said under arrest for what? I said under arrest. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, no, you are under arrest for suspicion of drink driving. You don't need to say any. Guys, you already know what they say. So guys, at this point, I am in shock. I am like, no, I can't go with you guys. I have to go home. I can't go with you guys. She was like, no, you have to come with us to the station, guys. I looked and I saw my dad. My dad was in shock. He didn't even say anything. My dad was in shock. My sister was crying. I was crying. I said, there's no way I am going to a police station right now. There's no way. So guys, I am literally scared as hell. So at this point, they take me away from my dad and my sister. They take me away. I shouldn't even be laughing, but they take me away because it wasn't funny. They take me away, and yeah, they put me behind the van. They put me behind the van, and they literally just closed it, and we was on our way to the station. Guys, I remember at the back of this van, I said, God, like, what did I do right now? Like, I've messed up my whole life. That is it for me. I am done. I'm a criminal. I'm done. So yeah, I remember I was just sitting there, and we got to the station. Guys. I couldn't believe that was how a station looked in the inside. I've never been in a police station. So I was just thinking, what the hell, guys? People are banging. I can hear people banging, people screaming. I was just like, no. I'm not meant to be here. And then he was just like to me, we need to do another breathalyzer in the station because as you failed the roadside one, you need to do another one in the station. I just said, okay, whatever. And then I was just like to him, so what, like, can I go home after this? So he was just like, we need to see your alcohol levels first before I can decide on that. So I was just like, all right. So guys, I'm breathing, I'm blowing out in the device. And once again, the device, it fails. So my alcohol levels were above the limit. Guys, so I was just like, okay, so the guy's telling me, yeah, so your alcohol levels are above the limit. So I was just like, okay. And then he was like, you have to stay here. I said, what? I said, there's no way. I said, no. I said, no. There's no way I'm staying here. I said, I can't stay here. He was like, no, you have to stay here because you have an interview in the morning. I'm charging you for drink driving. I said, God. I said, there's just no way. I said, there's no way. 3 days before my birthday, guys. 3 days before my birthday, on the 11th of October, I am sitting in the police station. 3 days before my birthday. So yeah, guys, they tell me that I have to stay, Then I was just like, I was obviously refusing. I don't want to stay. He was like, no, you have to stay. You have an interview in the morning. So they take all my stuff and whatnot, and then they take me to the police cell on my way to the gods. On my way to the police, the police cell, I can just hear banging, guys, banging. People are just like, get me out of here, banging, banging, banging. I'm just like, what? I was like, this is my life. I said, no, there's no way this is my life right now, guys. I was like, there's no way this is my life right now. Like, God, please, I can't be here. So I'm in the police cell. It's dark. It is dark in there, guys. It is dark, trust me. So I remember going in, there's like a metal thing where they put the mattress on. The mattress is just thin like paper, thin mattress, literally mattress, and then toilet in the corner, and like sink and a mirror that you can't even see yourself in. So I remember, guys, just as that door shut, the metal door shut behind me, guys, it's pitch black. It is pitch black. And I just remember crying myself to sleep. Like, when I think back, it actually hurts my heart. It hurts my heart so much. Crying myself to sleep. Like, God, no way. I said, no way. Like, what's my dad thinking? What is my mum thinking? Like, what is my, like, guys, I have no words at this point. I'm just crying myself to sleep. So eventually I slept, woke up. I woke up because they came to get me for my interview. So in the morning, I don't even know what time it was. No idea, guys. I had no idea what the time was. So they came to get me for the interview. And I remember I saw my solicitor and I was just crying like a baby. Crying like a baby, guys. I thought she was like my mum at that point. I was crying. I was like, please get me home. You need to get me home. Please get me home. Please. Like, I just can't be here. I need to go home. She was like, we need to get this interview done and whatnot. So done the interview, wrapped up the interview, and yeah, guys, they charged me for drinking under the influence. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, my life changed after that day. Guys. I had to go to court. I had to, do what I had to do in court and whatnot. Found me guilty. And yeah, my life changed from that point onwards. I lost my license. My car was written off. So because I was so dependent on my car as well at that point, things were different. So when you have a car, like, you're not used to, getting on the train and whatnot, because you drive everywhere. Do you know what I mean? You drive everywhere. So imagine the shift from always driving to work to whatever, and then, losing your car and having to basically, it feels like you have to start your whole life again. That's what it literally feels like. And that's why it broke me even more. So yeah, I went to court by myself. Because I just didn't want my parents to even witness all of that. I just wanted to go by myself and get it over and done with. I remember the judge, everything. Like, I thought I was gonna have a lawyer. Guys, I was so new to this stuff. Like, I thought I would go in there, see a lawyer. Guys, there was no one. There was no one there. Guys. It was just me, the judge, and whoever else, the people that read out the statements. Guys, it was just me by myself that day. I didn't listen. I wanted to be a big girl, so I need to end this being a big girl by myself. Do you know what I mean? Go through all of this, a big girl that I thought I was. So I remember, guys, I was pleading to the judge. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just saying anything. at that point. I remember, and obviously, yeah, they found me guilty at the end. Lost my license, lost everything, guys. I lost everything from that point onwards. And yeah, my birthday came, guys, and obviously I didn't even end up having the party anymore. I had to cancel the party because of what happened to me. But God is just so amazing, because I left that car accident with nothing wrong with me, no scratch, no nothing. Oh, God is so amazing. And if I showed you guys the state my car was in, You wouldn't even believe it. But God is just so amazing. God was just like, Naomi, it's not your time. My daughter, it's not your time. It's not your time. And honestly, I can only thank God because I deleted all the pictures that I had of my on my car. I deleted all the pictures that I had of my car because it brought me so much trauma when I used to look back at it. But guys, my car was a write off. It was a write off, literally. But I just thank God for just showing through for me that day. And also, I just wanted to touch on something as well. October and January it was very tough. October all the way through to January, it was very tough for me. I was depressed. I can definitely say that. I was crying every single day. I was crying. I lost a lot of weight. Guys, oh, it was not a joke. I went from here to there. Like I was broken most of the time. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, I just thank God for my family, my mom, my parents, everything. Because the love, sometimes, yeah, the love, it goes a long way. The love goes a long way. Let me just say that. But October all the way through to January, it was tough for me, guys. But obviously, I remember after all of this, guys, remember what I told you that I was sharing out my energy to everyone. I was talking to everybody. So obviously, after all of this happened, I remember I went home and I was going through my phone. And that number, remember I told you that I exchanged my number with a guy at the nightclub. So I'm going through my phone now and I see a message on WhatsApp from this guy. And then on the day that I had my car accident, he messaged that same day as well, the same day. And he was just like to me, do you want to come to the studio? And then he must have sent his song and it said drink driving. Guys, same time, same day. Honestly, let me tell you something right now, guys. Be careful. Be careful who you share your energy with. You don't know what people have. You don't know what sort of spirit people have. You don't know the energy that they're carrying. You don't know the intentions that they have for you. But all I can say that day, God, you came through. You came through because I saw that message, guys, and some sort of fear came over me. I dropped my phone. I was literally shaking. My body was shaking. I was not at ease. I was uncomfortable. My body was shaking. How at the same time that I had my car accident, guys, 4:15 a.m. The guy messaged me exact same time, 4:15 a.m. and sent me that message. This spiritual stuff is real. It is real. And all I can say to you guys is be careful who you share your energy to. Because back then, trust me, I was naive. I was just doing anything. I wasn't listening. I was doing my own thing. But it's dangerous. It is dangerous. You don't know what people want to do to you when they meet you. Like, trust me, especially if you're such a bubbly and energetic sort of person, you know, they see this sort of light in you and it's like they want to destroy you so bad. So that's what I remember. I blocked that person instantly, guys. The fear that took over me after reading that message, I was literally trembling in fear. Yeah, let's just say that October 2021 all the way through to January of 2022, it was the most hardest. Yeah, I've had the most hardest days of my life. It was really dark, really depressing. It's just very sad. I was always sad. Literally, I don't think there was a day that I was never sad or just bursting out in tears like randomly. So yeah, that's what happened to me. I lost my license. I didn't have my license for so the judge gave me 14 months of disqualification. So I didn't have my license, but then it got reduced because I had to do this online course and whatnot. So yeah, so at this point, guys, I'm just sad. Literally, I'm not doing anything, not wanting to go out. I I cancelled my birthday party. I was meant to have it on one day, but I cancelled it. And then I ended up doing something for my birthday, just something small with my friends and whatnot. And I also went on holiday with my sister. So at that time, I was just using holidays as a coping mechanism for me. So I just thought, you know what, like my birthday had, like leading up to my birthday was just so bad. So let me just go on holiday and like to just, you know, try to get my mind off it and whatnot. Yeah, so I just thought, let me go on holiday to try and get my mind off things and whatnot. And that's what I done with my sister. Like it was some sort of coping mechanism. But done that. And then I remember January came and I just said to myself, Naomi, you can't be sad like this forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though what happened to you happened, you cannot be sad like this forever. So I remember I was on YouTube one day. And I came across this woman. She was talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. At that time, I had no idea what that was, no idea at all. At this time as well, I didn't even have a Bible, like a physical Bible. I wasn't reading my Bible at all. I wasn't praying as much anymore. Like at that time in my life when I was doing what I was doing, I wasn't praying as much. I wasn't going to church. Obviously, it was lockdown, so there was only church here and there. But literally, guys, my prayer life went downhill. Yeah, so I didn't have a physical Bible, so I had no idea what the Proverbs 31 woman was. And I remember I clicked on that video and she was talking about, you know, being virtuous. So I was just thinking, oh, like, you know, what is that basically? Like, what's that all about? And I remember watching the video and I was just so like intrigued by it. Do you know what I mean? I was just so intrigued. I was just like, wow, like, you know, after everything that happened in my life, like, I really do want to change my life because I'm just sick and tired of the way I was living my life. Like, how can that happen to me? Do you know what I mean? How can something so life-changing like that happen to me? So I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to change my life and, you know, I want to live a different life. So, yeah, she was talking about the virtuous woman and I even have it right here, what that actually means. So, virtuous is just like having or showing high morals and, you know, just high standards, high morals, living, you know, a woman that just lives a really, really good life. So I just wanted to know what that was about. So I remember at the age of 21, I bought my first adult Bible. My first Bible as an adult at the age of 21. And I was just so into the Proverbs 31 woman. Honestly, that woman, the way God describes that woman in the Bible is insane. Like, I fell in love with her instantly. And I was just like, that's the woman I want to be. So when you read it in Proverbs 31, the whole book of Proverbs, in fact, the whole book of Proverbs is a book that changed my life. That changed my life for the better. There's one scripture in there that literally changed it for me. I think I even have it down here. Let me find it. Yeah, so it was Proverbs 31 verse 10, and that reads, who can find a virtuous woman? She is worth far more than rubies. Damn. She is worth far more than rubies. Like, for me, that just meant, you know, she's a different type of woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a woman that you can't compare to anything. This is a woman that she's just out of this world. Like, and I just thought to myself, Naomi, like, you doing all of this, partying, drinking, you know, enjoying your life, but, you know, looking good, doing whatever you're doing, but really and truly, you haven't been working on yourself internally. And I just said to myself, like, a true woman works on herself internally. And like the way they're describing this Proverbs 31 woman, I was like, I have to be that woman, you know, and I'm not going to be that woman if I'm living the life that I was living and if I'm just consistently being depressed and, you know, not wanting to do anything with my life to better it. So I just used that time in my life to just literally flip my life around. And that's what I done. Bought my first Bible. I also bought this book called The Proverbs 31 Woman. I'm going to link it down below for you guys as well if you're interested. But the Proverbs 31 Woman just literally describes this woman in a nutshell. She is amazing. So I'm going to link the book for you guys, and you guys can definitely have a read on that. But this Proverbs 31 woman, she is just gentle. She's a nurturer. She's just a businesswoman. She's a wife. She's a mother. And I just said, I aspire to be that woman. I have to be that woman. I need to change my life. And if I have to change my life, I need to do it now. So, and that's what I done. And also, there was another scripture as well. See that scripture? Like, when I say it to you guys, you're going to know what I mean. But it reads, it's Proverbs 31, verse 30. And that reads, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honestly, that scripture pierces my heart. Like, it literally pierces my heart. And I just said to myself that I have to be this woman. I need to find a way to be this woman. And when I say I was studying the book of Proverbs back to back, guys, back to back without a joke. I even have the notes on here as well. Like, the way I was studying her, guys, it's not a joke. And it just showed me that, Naomi, regardless of what happened to you, you can still come to the Lord and just, come as you are. At the end of the day, God is a God of love, and he knows obviously the wrongdoings that we're doing. Like, he knows that, we're not always going to live a good life. We're always going to be led astray and, fall into the things of the world. But you can always come back to him as you are. And that's what I did. Literally, that's what I did. And from that day onwards, guys, I was on my grind. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't mean because I was on my grind, I wasn't doing what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? I was still drinking, guys. It's just, like, I don't think anyone tells you how difficult it is to leave your old habits. Like, how difficult it is to leave your old habits behind you. It is difficult. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I stopped straight away, which is a lie. I didn't. I still went back to my old ways. I was still drinking the way I was drinking, guys. It's as if I forgot that happened to me. I literally had a massive car accident 3 days before my birthday, and it was literally as if I forgot about all of that and I went back to my old life of drinking. I was partying here and there as well. I was still doing what I was doing with guys. Oh God, it was a mess. So when I talk about that spiritual battle, it became intense because, bearing in mind now, I'm trying to leave my old life behind me. I'm trying to start a whole new chapter in my life. So yeah, the enemy is not happy about that. He ain't happy about that. So it was literally a thing where I was like battling. I was battling between two minds. I was like, let me just go back to drinking. Let me just go back to partying. Let me just go back to what I was doing before. But then at the same time, I wanted to flip my whole life around and just, become this new woman. But I was just trying my hardest, literally. But yeah, unfortunately, I did fall into the life of drinking again. And it just came to a point in my life where I started noticing that my body became very slow, my mind became very slow and whatnot. So I started to limit the amount that I drank. So I started cutting off small. Also with that as well, I would say if you are stuck in a bad habit, let's say like drinking, I wouldn't say stop completely because it's really hard to stop bad habits like that. I would say start cutting it off slowly. Do you know what I mean? Start drinking less and less and less, and then eventually one day you will stop completely. But that's what I had to do. I had to do that, and then I stopped drinking and I started limiting myself drinking, like only a few drinks a night and whatnot. So yeah, fast forward now, I got my license back. God is good. Got my license back, and I was just trying my hardest to get back on track with God, try and find a relationship with God again. I started praying more. Once the restrictions lifted, I started going to church. Thank God for my brother as well. I found a new church now that I'm going to, and I love it so much. But yeah, guys, that's my story at the moment. And at the moment, what I'm doing, I'm just trying my hardest to, maintain that relationship with God and just consistently pray and whatnot. And now I'm on a sobriety journey. So I'm going sober. I've told God that, I just don't want to be lukewarm anymore with you. I don't want to be lukewarm anymore. And I just want to literally live my life for you. And I want to completely stop drinking. So only God can lead me. Only God can lead me. And I know that one day it will just come to a point where I just stop drinking completely. And I just want it to be a thing where eventually I am not drinking again. I am not even touching a cup of alcohol. But honestly, God is good. This story, honestly, I hold it so dearly to my heart. And one thing I'm going to say to you guys is own your story. Own your story. Whatever you've done in your past life, trust me, it doesn't, define who you are. It doesn't define the beautiful person that you are on the inside. What I was doing, for example, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was stubborn. I was literally just living my life. I thought I was just living my life as the young girl that I was, but my mistakes led to near death. It led to near death and a life changing situation in my life. But I hold it so dearly to my heart because that's my story. That's my personal story. And I own that story. And I know that with the story that I have to share, it will impact so many people because, many people are going through the same thing that I went through. Many people have other bad habits that they're trying to let go of. But I'm here to tell you that one day you will be freed from that bad habit. And one day you will find a way to change your life completely because it comes to a point where you're just so sick and tired of like the same things that you're going through, just the same results. And one thing I'm going to say, like, if you're sick and tired of the same results, the same life that you're living, like, just sometimes be honest with yourself. What is it? What is it that's holding you to change? You know what I mean? What is it that's holding you to change? What are the things that you don't like about yourself and you're willing to just drop it and change for the better? You need to actually just sit back and reflect on that and tell yourself that enough is enough. Like, I want to live a new life. I want to be a new man. I want to be a new woman. And take that step now. Just take that step now. I said to myself, what actually motivated me was that I need to stop drinking because I wouldn't want my kids to see me the way my mom saw me. I wouldn't want my kids to see me in that way. So I'm going to cut out drinking in my life because my kids will never have to see that. So that's one thing that motivated me. And one day I'm going to tell my kids this story. I'm actually going to tell my kids this story one day because I just feel like my story is just I just feel like my story is very inspirational. So, and I hope it is for you guys as well, honestly. But yeah, that was my story. And that's how, it led to what I'm doing today. And I just wanted to really share my story with you guys, and I hope that was very motivating for some of you guys to want to stop those bad habits and literally make a change in your life. But yeah, that's me now. God is just so good because when I think about it as well, I remember I was applying for my master's as well. I was applying for my master's degree and I was so scared that they wouldn't accept me. Yeah, I was so scared that they wouldn't accept me because they would find out what I'd done in the past and whatnot. But God is so good. Like, the way God is so good, He will never put a full stop in your life. Like, one thing I'm going to say, don't let things like this ever define you because God is greater than all of this. So if God says that you're going to go somewhere, you're going to go there. And trust me, there will be no sort of barriers in the way of that because your life is written. It's already written. Do you know what I mean? God knows that you was going to go through this, and sometimes you need to go through these situations to become a better person on the other end, and that is what it's done to me. And I'm so grateful to God that that happened to me. Honestly, I am so grateful to God because I remember I used to just feel sorry for myself, but now it's just like, why am I feeling sorry for myself? And I just remember my mum always used to tell me, Naomi, stop. But listen, those that don't listen, they must feel it. They must feel it. And I really felt it. I really felt it, definitely. I really felt it. And it's made me a better woman. And it's made me the woman that I am today. So I'm very thankful to God that that happened to me. And I've realized my mistakes. And I will never, ever put myself through that again. But yeah, guys, I feel like at this point, just close your eyes and just think about the ideal person that you want to be. Like, what are the bad habits that you want to leave behind you? What is it that you want to change in your life because you're just sick and tired of the results that you're getting. You're sick and tired of the same life that you're living, and it's not doing you any good. So I say, yeah, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and make that change. But honestly, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sitting and listening. I appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, that's it for me today. And I just want to say like, comment, subscribe, and just share this video with a lot of people. Share this video with somebody that can relate as well. And I hope that my story was a blessing to you guys today. And also, one thing I'm going to say, subscribe and turn on those post notifications so that you guys know when I next post, because this series is going to be ongoing. I've got a lot of other topics that we're about to discuss, and it's going to be covering a range of things as well. So I hope you're excited for that, because I definitely am. But thank you so much, guys. And Merry Christmas as well, because I'm filming this Christmas Eve. So tomorrow's Christmas. So yeah, Merry Christmas as well. And have a beautiful one.